Hello, Brushing Teeth with Robert, June 20th. It's a live podcast. How are we all doing? This is not going to be a long one. I'm letting you know that right now.
You say your love is bona fide, but that don't coincide with the things that you do. And when I ask you to the night,
Welcome to Brushing Teeth with Robert. I think this is a very fitting song right now. So, welcome to Brushing Teeth with Robert, the Saturday Live podcast. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, even if you are not here and just watching it recorded. Either way, thank you. New edition. We're here. We made it. We made it to Saturday. Good job. You did great. It's a great song. I think it's probably a little closer. There we go. Hello, welcome. Nick Lowe, Cruel to Be Kind. Great song. Very, very, very fitting right now, I think. Very fitting. Cheers. Yes, this is actually wine. This is actually a drink. Is it like 14 days, I think, without a drink? Not bad. Not shabby. Felt good about it. And once you know it, the one day I decided to drink wine, my stomach feels like absolute shit, by the way. Cool to be kind in the right measure. Hi, welcome. This is going to be a very serious podcast. Just to preface you on this, all right? Just so you're ready for it, all right? So, welcome. I hope you enjoyed the Nick Lowe. Everybody should. He is fantastic. A lot of people don't know about him, but you should. He is really, really good, and that is a fantastic song that I think is very fitting for the times right now. Very, very fitting. Cruel to Be Kind. So, welcome to Brush Teeth with Robert. Welcome to the, hey, what's up, Mikey? That's my brother right there. Welcome to the Saturday live podcast. Thank you for being here. We made it Saturday. Hope you're staying healthy. Hope you're staying sane. The world is not on fire, all right? Even though a lot of people, I think, believe it is. It's not. It is not, all right? We're making it through our days. Thank you very much. I like my hat too. But thank you for being here. Please subscribe if you like what you see. Hit the alerts. I do a recorded one on Wednesday, and then I do a live podcast on Saturday. So far, I've been cutting them a little short because I don't feel like I have a ton to say. But I'm going to kind of run through this. My stomach feels like shit. All right, so tomorrow's Father's Day. Please, if you know who your father is, call him, thank him, buy him a gift. It doesn't matter. Even if you don't buy him a gift, just call and thank him. You know, thank him for having sex with your mom. Thank him for fucking your mom. Because if he didn't stick in your mom, you would not be here. And for those of us that don't, those of us whose fathers are not around anymore, listen, you know that he was here and you know that he loved you and you know who I'm talking to. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Listen. So I had an early Father's Day today. I went into work. My son met me up there. He took me to a little Father's Day lunch, of which it food poisoned me, obviously. I'm not going to name the place because maybe it was just a bad meal, but man, I feel like shit right now. Like, I feel bad. I literally just went to the grocery store, stocked up. Tums, Alka-Seltzer, ginger ale. Like, I bought the entire gamut, and I'm sure the wine is not helping, by the way. Absolutely positive it is not helping. So, in fact, listen. Ooh, it's rough. So this one is not going to go long. But I do want to talk about something. I want to talk about dads. Because we're coming up on Father's Day tomorrow, I think it's very smart for us to talk about fathers and the roles they play or have played in our lives. I think it's fair. And as being a father, I am going to be a little biased in this, in which I don't think we get our due. I do not think we get our due at all. I don't think we get enough credit. I don't. I really don't. You've got to be pretty fucking spectacular to get the same credit as the mother gets. Now listen, okay, hold on. Before we go crazy here, all right? Before we get all judgy on me, all right? Do not get me wrong. I am not in any way, shape, or form downplaying the role that mothers play in our life, all right? At all. I mean, how else are we supposed to grow up with an absolute fear of anxiety and doubt and self-worth if it wasn't for our moms? I mean, who else is going to put that into us? No, seriously. Moms play a big role. Without getting too personal, my mom played a very large role in my life. She did. I was raised by a single mother and a lot of mediocre boyfriends and stepfathers, except for one. I do have one great. I have two great fathers too. One is a step. I don't even think about him that way. I'm just quantifying it. All right. Before him, I had a ton of shit men come in and out of life that tried to be fathers. And kudos to them. Trying to be a father is at times just as hard as being a father. It is. It really is. I tell people all the time, as you can tell, I just recently trimmed my beard. It is much shorter. But generally when it's grown out, I'll a lot of times have younger guys comment. And they'll say, man, I love your beard. I love your, it's a great beard. And I tell them the same thing. I said, the way you get a beard that is full and long, gray, has that look all that gray in it, is A, whiskey. B, you have to have had a child at one point that you love with all your heart tell you that they hate you. That's how you get a good beard. If you can get somebody you unconditionally love that you are raising to tell you, I hate you and hurt you, it automatically just grows. Like the beard just automatically grows. It's just like, boom, like Grizzly Adams' beard happens after that. That's the worth of being a father. That's what happens in being a father. Parenting, of course, is an unrewarding job. You never get back what you put into it. I believe that fathers as a whole definitely don't. We actually go into severe emotional debt. Now, you'll say, but Robert, don't you love raising your son? Don't you brag about him all the time? Absolutely. I do brag about him all the time. Did I love raising him? Yeah, I did. I did love raising him. I mean, in all sense of the word, I am still raising him. He still relies on me, even as an adult, on advice in the way he moves through life. So in a way, I am still raising my son. But looking back on it, did I enjoy it? Fuck no. It sucks. Raising a kid sucks. when you're a father, it's you at times are very secondary. You're very secondary. Man, if you've got a good set of grandparents, you'll become tertiary in a heartbeat. You are the third thought in that kid's head. It's sometimes if they're great grandparents, like really, really good. I don't mean like great, like old grandparents. I mean like really fantastic grandparents. The mother will come second, and then the father will come third. Like grandparents will be first. Like that's the first person I'll think about. A very famous rapist said, I shouldn't start any sentence out like that. A very famous rapist one time said, so Bill Cosby one time said that the reason why grandparents and grandkids get along so well is because they have a common enemy, which is very true. And he also said, does this drink smell like roofie? So, take it for what it's worth. Take it for what it's worth. So, I've been thinking a lot about, especially today, because I had an early Father's Day because my son is in the middle of moving, so he's very busy. He asked if we could do it today. We did. We went out to lunch, had a really good time. And it's funny because we didn't really have a lot to talk about today. And there were times when we sat in kind of an odd silence. And I was okay with that. Because last night we had a hilarious conversation. I mean, just a gut-busting conversation. And we have to remember that not all conversations we have with people are going to be spectacular, even people we love and adore. So today we sat in silence a lot. I think we were both pretty worn out. I think work had worn us out. Life had worn us out. I think things had we were just kind of resting. We were breathing. I want to say this as being a parent of an adult, that sometimes it's very hard. It is hard to let go. It is. And I don't really know how to explain it if you don't have an adult child. It's a weird thing. If your child, especially if your child, I don't know. I mean, not everybody can have a child as successful as mine, but as they're growing and as they're really just being on their own, like they don't rely on you for anything anymore. You have to weigh out this uselessness that you've now found yourself in. Because you can still remember. You can still remember when they counted on you for everything. You remember. You remember still picking them up or putting them in a car seat, or you remember them calling you as a teenager when they were in trouble and needed help. And you can still remember these times, and it's hard. It's hard because you're in this weird balance of remembering when you were the most useful tool in their life, and now you have become, you're still a tool. I'm still a tool. You're still a tool. Boy, I am full of puns tonight, so just ignore this, all right? Oh, was she an avant-gardener? So you're still a tool, all right? But you're not as much of a primary tool as you used to be. You're not the screwdriver anymore. You're not the Phillips head screwdriver in their toolbox anymore. You're more like that set of needle nose pliers that works for special things. And it's hard. It's hard. It is hard. But you should be proud of it because you're a father. And you should also look back on the role that other fathers have played in your life. And so I'm going to relate a story. I have very, very dry mouth tonight. I have two fantastic fathers, Bob and Ernie. Everybody knows them who's probably watches this because I talk about it incessantly. I have been blessed later in my life to have two fantastic fathers that love and care about me and guide me through life. And it's great. But I want to talk about a father that I had in my life that a lot of people don't know. The very beginning of my life, my mother married a guy by the name of Nick Phillips. And Nick Phillips was a super hippie. And he was a North Texas. He grew up in Sherman, Texas. And he was very smart. He was a jock in his high school years, and I don't know where it came from, but he had this incredible thirst for knowledge. He was a machinist, and I remember he worked second shift because I remember when we'd go pick him up from this machine shop that he worked at in Houston. I'm feeling better. And so he had this incredible thirst for knowledge. He was very self-taught, and I'll give you a couple of examples. He took me to see Halley's Comet. I remember that. And by the way, Halley's Comet is very deceiving. Doesn't fly through the sky. By the way, I really thought it'd be. That's not what Halley's Comet does. It's very still in the sky. It just kind of like the tail changes positions. It's pretty uneventful. But he took me to see Halley's Comet. He was really big into astronomy, and he was really big into computer engineering when it was very young, when like CompuServe was a thing, and when you would like go to Radio Shack, and Radio Shack had a desk where you could actually solder and you could actually make things. And Nick was phenomenal. In fact, I attribute a lot of the thirst I have for knowledge to him. Well, this is where the story gets rough. All right. Right around, I think my seventh grade year, my mom had an affair and they ended up getting divorced. I believe they'd been married for about a good 6 years. So he was kind of the only man I knew. I knew he wasn't my real father, but he was my dad. He was my dad. And he ended up moving into the same apartment complex that we lived in so that we could go see him. But things were a lot different. He was very sad. His apartment was always very dark. He was definitely going through depression. And there came a point where we just didn't see him any longer. And I still have remnants of him. I had mentioned in a past podcast that I have the Time Life mythology books. Those he gave to me. I believe I have a collection of star charts that he gave to me. And there just came a time where my mom moved on from him. So as a child, you end up moving on from him as well. As I got into adulthood and my rose-colored glasses about life were taken off. Sorry, I'm a little sweaty. It gets hot in here. My rose-colored glasses about my mother's relationships with people started coming off. I always wanted to get in contact with him. Not too long ago, I had found out that he had died. And he is gone. And every once in a while I think about it, it makes me a little sad. But I try to remember this. As a father, I have a feeling that he knew the influence he had on my life regardless of whether we never saw each other again. And I also think about it this way, that as a father, you never get back what you put in. And that's a realistic thing that I think all parents realize, whether you're a step or whether you're a real father. You're never going to get back what you put into it. And I hope that he realized or realizes or whatever the fuck happens up there, that happened. That he didn't get back what he put into it, but he put in something that influenced me and will influence me for my entire life. And please, RIP, Muah. Let's raise a glass to Nick Phillips. Unbelievably smart man. helped raise me, spanked me. Was the first stepfather to ever spank me, by the way. Um, and he was a great man. He was a great father. And sometimes we need to think about the people or the men in our lives that helped raise us that aren't the primaries and maybe aren't the secondaries or the tertiaries, but they're still there. And they still are the shadow that helped enlighten our lives and helped make us the kids or the adults we are today. Whether you're a woman or whether you're a man or whatever you are, that helped shape you. There are men in our lives throughout all of our lives who played a father role and helped shape us, and we should remember them for this. We should, um, because they remember us. I think they remember us. There's a lot of times when I think he wanted to absolutely give up, and I do feel bad that I feel like maybe I gave up on him, but I was too young. I was too young. At that point, when you're that young, you just go where your parents go. You don't have a choice physically or emotionally. They go that direction. You have to go that direction. You don't have that choice. What was I going to do once we moved like all the way across the school district? I was going to you know, take a bus to his house. I mean, I wasn't going to do that. You're not going to do that. But I think that he knew. I hope that he knew. Let's hope. Let's hope. All right. I think in these times, the least we can do is hope. Hope that people realize the influence they have over our lives, especially in helping us grow and helping us learn and helping us become the people we are today. So that's really what I want to talk about. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there who watch this. Happy Father's Day. It's Michael. I don't even know if you're still watching, but Mike, you're a fucking great father. You're a fantastic. You build your kid like playgrounds and shit. I didn't do that for my kid. All I built him was like mental issues. I mean, you do things for your kid that are both your kids that are awesome. Even that devil daughter of yours. Whew. Wow. Watch out for that one. That one might. That one scares me. That one scares me like the movie The Good Son. Like she scares me. Like I don't even talk back to her. I don't even say like the wrong thing to her. Like she's hey, I got goosebumps thinking about her. Yeah. So happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Remember, there is a reason why we are here. Okay. There really, really is. There's a reason why we are here. We are not a secondary or tertiary issue. Okay. We're here for a reason. And those motherfuckers should be thankful. They should be fucking thankful we're around. All right. They should. They really should. Because you know how many people don't know their dads? It's insane. It's really insane. So, Logan, you're welcome for everything I did and everything I did not do. Because you were raised horribly, absolutely horribly. My son was raised horribly. I raised my son like a fucking heathen. So watch out when you cross paths with him, because he'll cut you. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Listen, happy Father's Day to both my fathers. I love you both very much. You both mean the absolute world to me. And you both came along later in my life, regardless of that. Regardless of y'all both coming into my life later, I appreciate it with all of my heart. I really do. I can tell you one thing one father did wrong, which is that he taught me to wear boots all the fucking time. Thank you for making my fucking feet hurt, Ernie. Thank you. Great job. Good for you. Everything else you did fantastically. Bob, I can tell you one thing you did wrong. Genetically, you gave me this fucking honker on my face. You gave me this big fucking nose. So thanks a lot for the, Jimmy Durantinos I have on my face. Besides that, you've done everything fantastic. So, so to the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. To my fathers, happy Father's Day. I love you all out there. Stay safe. Stay sane. All right? See you on Wednesday. Please subscribe. Brushing Teeth with Robert podcast. Hope I helped out for just a few minutes on this Saturday. Muah. Love y'all very much. Subscribe, please. 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 Also, my Father's Day wish is for Logan to pay me back the money he owes me. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Brushing Teeth with Robert. June 20th, 2020. We're doing this. The world is not on fire. I love you. You love me. Stay sane. All right? Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a good Saturday. Have a good beginning of your week. Love you all. Stay safe. See you on Wednesday.